Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamashravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashranvanutibhisida Sadanam Sri Mahaganadipataye Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. Dear friends, in the last class we just read the 30th shloka of 6th Adhyaya. That is, Yo Mam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Cha Mayi Pashyati Tasyaham Na Pranashyami Sacha Me Na Pranashyati. So that is the shloka. This shloka is about the vision of a jnani. The vision of a jnani and how and what is the result of that. What is the result of that vision? So that is what is being told in this thing. The vision of a jnani is that he sees Brahman everywhere. Yo mam. I explained this shloka also, and also I read one line of this Bhashyam. Yo mam, and wherever Krishna refers to himself, it refers to Supreme Brahma and not to say Krishna as an individual. So whoever sees Supreme Brahman in all things and then Sarvam Cha Mayi Pashyati, sees everything in me, so that person, Tasya Aham Na Pranashyami. Tasya means for that man, Aham, I, Na Pranashyami. That means I will not be lost by him. I will not be, Na Pranashyami. I will, Nashyati. Nashyati is to perish. Na Pranashyami means I will not perish in his case, or which means I will not be lost in his case. I will always be like him only, with him or him as him. Tasya aham na pranashyami, sacha me na pranashyati. Sa means he, me for me na pranashyati. He will not be lost. I will not be lost for him and he will not be lost for me. So that is the shloka. We also read this first line. Yomam Pashyati Vasudevam. Vasudevam I explained. Vasudeva is the indweller in all. Then Sarvasya Atmanam Sarvatra Sarveshu Bhuteshu Sarvam Cha Brahmadi Bhutajatam Mayi Sarvatmani Pashyati. That is, Sarvam Bhutajatam is starting from Brahmadi Bhutajatam, Brahmadi Stamba Paryantam. That is a standard phrase which we see in Vedanta. That is the creator Brahman. Starting from the creator Brahma to a small blade of grass, everything is just a manifestation in me. Mayi means it is not as though there is a huge body and in that huge body all these things are there, like our body is there, and then intestines are there, and in the intestines there are so many bacteria. It's not like that. We should not imagine that there is a huge body called that Supreme Brahma, and then in that huge body called Supreme Brahma all of us are something like bacteria or amoeba or something like that. We should not imagine like that. It is a manifestation in that consciousness. We have to take in that manner. Sarvam Cha Mayi means in me means what is it? In that Supreme Brahman or consciousness, that emergence or appearance of Maya as a force is there, that Shakti, Maya Shakti is there, and in that Maya Shakti all these things are appearances. So that is how he sees. And Sarvatra, then such a man, he is seeing Brahman everywhere. So that is it. He sees it as Sat and Chit only. Sat and Chit means that existence and consciousness. He sees it, he sees everywhere that existence and consciousness, and whatever objects he sees them as only upadhi. Object is only a manifestation called a upadhi, that is a sort of limiting adjunct for that Sat and Chit. So that is how he sees. And so next line is Tasya evam Atmaikatva Darshinaha Aham Ishvaraha Na Pranashyami Na Parokshatam Gamishyami. Okay, so Tasya means for that man, evam in this manner, Atmaikatva Darshinaha, for the one who sees that unity of self with Brahman. Atmaikatva Darshanam. Atmanaha ekatvam with Brahman. So that is, Atma is the same as Brahman. So that sort of vision for that man, Atmaikatva Darshinaha, Aham Ishvaraha. Ishvara again here means the Supreme Brahman and not Lord Shiva. Ishvaraha Na Pranashyami. That is, Na Parokshatam Gamishyami. We know the words, two words called pratyaksha and paroksha, paroksha and aparoksha. Paroksha is something which is away from our senses. Pratyaksha, of course, is what we see by our senses. This is neither pratyaksha nor paroksha, but this is something which is aparoksha. Aparoksha is knowing that that itself is me. That itself is me. That is aparoksha. Pratyaksha is aksham, means I. Aksha is indriyam, any indriyam, not only I, any indriya, any sense organ is aksha. Then pratyaksha, prati plus aksha, aksham prati pratyaksham. That is something which is in front of our senses. Paroksha is something which is not in front of our senses. That is something which is absent, which is hidden from our senses. Then aparoksha is not aparoksha, but not even pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means when you say you are looking at it with your indriyas. Here it is nor are you looking at it with your indriyas, nor is it totally absent. You are feeling it as yourself. That is aparoksha. So this is aham na paroksha, say na pranasyati na paroksho bhavati. So that is I am say existing as him. So that is like that. Then tasya cha mama cha ekatmakatvat. Oh, there is one more line. Sacha me na pranashyati sacha vidwan mama vasudevasya na pranashyati na paroksho bhavati tasya cha mama cha ekatmakatvat. We know one statement, Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. That is a very famous statement which we keep seeing in Vedanta. That is, the person who knows Brahman becomes Brahman. That is, there is no, that duality has disappeared. The duality between him and the Brahman has disappeared. And then he realizes that he himself is that Brahman. So that is that stage which is being told. So that tasyaham na pranashyami tasya cha mama cha ekatmakatvat. That is, I and him are one and the same. So that is why I am never lost to him, nor is he ever lost to me. I and he are one and the same. So that is the meaning here. Vasudevasya na pranashyati na paroksho bhavati. He doesn't become away from me, nor am I away from him. I am, that both are one and the same. Swatmahi nama Atmanah priyayeva bhavati. Yasmacha ahameva sarvatmaikatva darshi. Sarvatmaikatva darshi. Okay. Swatmahi nama Atmanah priyam bhavati. Whom do you love most? You love yourself most. That is very obvious. Whom do you love most? You don't love your wife as much as you don't love your son as much as you love yourself. So you don't love any other thing as much as you love yourself. So whatever is Atma, that self is something which is dearest to you, isn't it? So when you know that yourself is that Brahman, then what is it that you say like most? That is, you like say your own Atman, you like that Brahman status. There is no question of again liking. You are aware of that. You are in that existence. You are in that consciousness. So Swatmahi nama Atmanah priyayeva bhavati yasmacha, because ahameva sarvatmaikatva darshi. I am the same thing as that sarvatmaikatva darshi. Whoever is that sarvatmaikatva darshi, I am the same person. I am the same gentleman who is looking at everything, who is seeing Brahman everywhere. So that is it. Then this 30th shloka. Then let us read the shloka. Sarva, there is no avatarika for the, yeah, there is one line. Ityetat purva shlokartham samyak darshanam anudya tat phalam moksho abhidhiyate. So purva shlokartham samyak darshanam. That is, purva shloka is that tasyaham na pranashyami sachamena pranasyati. That is the purva shlokartham. Say purva shlokartham samyak darshanam. What does that purva shloka say? That purva shloka talks about samyak darshanam. Samyak darshana is the right understanding, the proper understanding. That is realizing that one is Brahman. That is the proper understanding. Samyak darshanam anudya. Anudya means having told. Anuvadati. Anuvada we know. Anudya, having told that. tat phalam moksha abhidhiyate. That phalam, the phalam of the result of that is what? That is moksha. That is, he gets liberated from all types of foolishness, from all types of bondages, from all types of fears, all types of anxieties. So liberation from all types of say bondages, fears and anxieties is what is called moksha. So tat phalam moksha abhidhiyate. Abhidhiyate is that is being told. Abhidhiyate. That is a karmani prayoga. That is, it is being told. Let us read the shloka. Sarva bhuta sthitam yo mam bhajatyekatvam asthitah sarvatha vartamanopi sa yogi mai vartate. So this is again the same we had seen earlier one line. The earlier shloka, 29th shloka, if you see, Sarva bhutastham atmanam. You have seen that? Sarva bhutastham atmanam. That is, there we talked about a jnani who is seeing himself as dwelling in everything else. Sarva bhutastham. The jnani, you see everything or you see yourself in every being. So there it is a question of jnani. Here Lord is saying, Sarva bhuta sthitam mam. That is, me who is the indweller of all. So there in the 29th shloka we saw the individual, the jnani is seeing himself as in everything. Here the Lord is saying that he is in everybody. So then what does it mean? I say I am in everybody. You say that you are also in everybody. What does it mean? I and you are one and the same. That is it. Here in the 29th shloka it was referring to a jnani. And then in this shloka you are referring to the Lord himself, who says that I and he are one and the same. So in other words, what say there he said the jnani sees himself like that, and then here he himself he says I am in everybody. So that is it. Sarva bhuta sthitam yaha mam. Here the shloka is like this. Sarva bhuta sthitam. That is the person, the one who is dwelling in everything, in every being. Mam, that is me. Me who is dwelling in everything. Yaha. Yaha means the person who. Bhajati. Bhajati means, in this sense, bhajana, it has different meanings. Bhaja, depending on the context, it gives different meanings. Bhajati is, you do bhajana, that is also a bhajana. Bhajate, akaram bhajati, means it takes that shape. Here in this context, bhajati means prapnoti, he attains, he understands like that. Bhajati, he prapnoti, understands like that. Bhajati, ekatvam asthitaha. Bhajat ekatvam asthitaha has to be split as bhajati ekatvam asthitaha. Ekatvam means that is not different from himself. Ekatvam, unity between him and me. So he, one who sees me as not different from him, that is ekatvam asthitaha. Asthitaha means praptaha, having attained that state, having attained that level of understanding. Asthitaha. Then one who has that type of vision, then what is the phalam? Sarvatha vartamanopi sayogi mai vartate. Sarvatha vartamanopi, whatever be his say stature, whatever ashrama he may be in, that is, he may be a brahmachari, he may be a grihastha, he may be a monk, he may be anything else. He goes beyond. We know that there is a word called ativarnashrami. A person who goes beyond this varna ashrama, who goes beyond this transactional level of dharma, he goes beyond religion. So that is what we have seen. A person who becomes who is a jnani, he goes beyond what the Veda says. Yatra Veda Aveda bhavanti. Religion becomes irrelevant. Your caste becomes irrelevant. Your all the dharma which is told to you becomes irrelevant. And it does not mean that you can indulge in anything. It does not mean that you can say commit a murder and get away. It only means that such a man, he has attained such a refined state that he will never do any such thing. He will never do any such thing. That is why in Vedanta Shastra I often repeat that word adhikari. Adhikari is one vidhivad adhita veda vedangatvena nitanta nirmala swantaha. That is one whose understanding, one whose antahkarana, one whose say chittam, that is antahkarana, has become so pure that he just has no ego. His ego has been totally dissolved. So we are talking about such a man. We are not talking about somebody We are not talking about an enlightened criminal. We are talking about an enlightened person who is also a well-disciplined person even much earlier, because he has graduated from Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga itself has contributed to Chitta Shuddhi. Then again he has gone through this Dhyana Yoga, this Sannyasa, then 100% Chitta Shuddhi. So we are talking about such a person. We are not talking about somebody who sits, sits with a book of Gita and then he feels he is enlightened. We are not talking about a theoretically enlightened person. We are talking about a person who has done that Abhyasa, who has gone through that Vairagya, process of Abhyasa and Vairagya, and attained that Chitta Shuddhi. So that is it. So Sarvatha Vartamanopi, that is, in whatever state he is, in whatever manner he is, then Sa Yogi, that particular yogi, that particular person who has that understanding, Mai Vartate, that is Mai, in me. What does it mean? That Jnani and me are one and the same. Jnani and me are one and the same. Mai means in me. Mai, aham, that is the Saptami Vibhakti. Mai Vartate, he dwells in me. That is Swarupavasthanam. We talk about it. Swarupavasthana means your own Swarupa is Brahman. Whereas you feel that you are some Srinivas, you are some somebody else, you are some X, Y and Z and something like that. You feel that you are a particular individual born into a particular society. You are having certain socially defining factors and all those things. So, but here all those things are shaken off, and then you are one with that state, one with that Brahman. Mai Vartate means he is Brahman himself. So that is the meaning. The shloka, have you understood it?
Yes.
The shloka is Sarva Bhuta Sthitam, the one who is dwelling in everybody, every being, Mam, in me, me. Then Bhajati, that is, he attains, Prapnoti, Ekatvam Asthitaha, that is, having realized that he is not different from me, non-different from me. Then Sarvatha Vartamanopi, so in whatever ashrama, in whatever state he is, then Sa Yogi Mai Vartate. So he is in me, that is, he is Brahman himself. So that is the meaning. Let us read the Bhashyam. Sarvatha Sarva Prakaraihi Vartamanopi Samyak Darshi Yogi Mai Vaishnave Parame Pade Vartate Nitya Mukta Eva Saha Na Moksham Prati Kenachit Pratibadhyate Ityarthaha. So Sarvatha, Sarva Prakaraihi. So for this Sarvatha, the one commentator Madhusudana Saraswati has written a beautiful thing. Yo yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. That is, the God, say the Brahman or God, let us say, Yo yatha mam prapadyante. We are going to get one shloka in the in the next adhyaya. That is, people go to the deity or God with different say frames of mind, with a different mindset for various things. Artho, Jignyasur, Artharthi, Jnani. Artaha, one who is in distress. Jignasu, one who wants to know, a person who wants to know and who wants to understand. Artharthi, that is, he is not in distress, but he wants more, some more boons and some more, wealth, and he wants to, aggrandize himself, let us say. So that he is an Artharthi. Then Jnani, a person who is already a Jnani, he also, he goes to say the Lord. That is because he knows that he is nothing different from that, and with that Advaya Bhakti, that is called Advaya Bhakti, that non-dual Bhakti. So with that frame of mind, he goes to him. So there are 4 types of people who go to the God. So, and that shloka says, in whatever manner one approaches me, I reply to them in that manner only. You come as a person in distress, okay, I will see that you are in that level only, I will handle you at that level. If you come at a slightly different level, I will handle you at that level. If you come as my equal, I will handle you as my equal. So that God is totally business-like in this manner. So a person who sees Sarva Bhuta Sthitam Yomam Bhajati, that is, one who sees himself as equal to me, as the same as me, not equal, as the same as me, such a man, I also respond to him in the same way. He mai vartate. So that is what Madhusudana he points out. So here the commentary is Sarvatha Sarvaprakaraihi Vartamanopi Samyak Darshi Yogi. Samyak Darshi is one who has that proper understanding. Mai Vaishnave Parame Pade. Vaishnava means belonging to Vishnu. Vishnu, the meaning is what? What is the meaning? Vyapnoti iti Vishnu. Vyapana Shilaha. One who is all pervading. That is what is called Vishnu. Vishnu is a particular tattva. Vishnu tattva. We are not referring to Lord Vishnu who is say in that Sheshashayi and then some say Lakshmi say pressing his feet and whatnot. We are not referring to a particular God form. We are referring to that particular tattvam. We are referring to that particular say cosmic, not even cosmic, it is beyond cosmos. That particular Brahma tattvam, that is Brahma Lakshanam, that is Vyapana Shilaha, that is say Anantam. We are referring to that particular thing. Ananta is, that is everywhere. That Sat and Chit which is everywhere, we are referring to that thing by the word Vishnu. In fact, Vishnu Sahasranama Bhashyam, if you see, Vishnu Sahasranama, Shankaracharya has written a big commentary. In fact, he has written about 2 full pages on this word only, Vishnu, Vyapana Sila. So, so that is what we have to remember here. Vaishnave Pade. Vaishnava means belonging to Vishnu, he becomes Vaishnava. That becomes a Tadhita Pratyaya. That Vaishnave Parame Pade, in that supreme Pada, supreme status. What is that supreme status? Sat, Chit and Ananda. So that type of status, Vartate, he stays in that. Nitya Mukta Eva Saha, he is always free. Nitya Muktaha, that is Jivan Mukta we say. This particular gentleman is Nitya Muktaha, free from bonds, free from all types of fears. So that is the meaning of Nitya Mukta. Only a person who is say feeling himself as separate from God, so he is always afraid, okay, the God may punish me. So one who realizes he himself is Brahman. So he never does anything wrong socially also. So at that social level he does nothing wrong. So he is free from fear. So he is free from all types of anxiety because he has no desires. So he is free from all types of fears and anxieties. So that man is called Nitya Mukta. Na moksham prati kenachit pratibadhyate. That is, he is not say obstructed by anything. Na kenachit pratibadhyate. Pratibadhyate is again in karmani prayoga. He is not obstructed by say any other thing, any other obstacle. Kenachit means by anything. Na pratibadhyate means he is not obstructed, he cannot be restrained, he cannot be stopped. That is, nothing can stop him. That means a Jnani, of course, he has his prarabdha karma. Jnani also, he has a prarabdha karma. That is, some karma has started giving fruit. Prarabdha karma means some karma which has started giving fruit. And in the meanwhile, he attains Jnana. He attains self-realization. Then what will happen to this prarabdha karma? Prarabdha karma is compared to an arrow which has been shot from a bow. That is mukteshu vat. There is a comparison. So it goes on till it's say the momentum becomes zero and then it falls on the ground. So that is an arrow which is shot from a bow. Another example is a kulala chakra. Kulala chakra is that potter's wheel. The potter, while making a wheel, he rotates it and then after taking out the part, he leaves the thing, and then it rotates for some time, and after some time it stops. So this is the thing. Another example which another commentator gives here is Dagdhapata Nyaya. Dagdhapata means, if you have seen a burnt cloth, have you seen a burnt cloth? Burnt cloth, okay, it turns into ashes. It turns into ash, but it still retains its shape. If you touch, it will just become ash. So long as you don't touch it, or so long as you don't so long as there is no breeze there, it will retain its shape. It will be in its original shape. So like that Dagdhapata, this Sharira, Indriya, all these things, they will be there, but then they will not affect him. They will not cause any sort of obstacle. They will not cause any type of restraint. So that is what is the na pratibadhyate. That is the explanation given by one commentator. Dagdhapata Dagdapatavat, Deha Deha Abandhakatvat. All this body and all these things, they do not become bandhakam. Bandhakam means a bondage. They will not be obstacles. Sharira will be doing its activity. So that Jnani will be having a feeling. Indriyani Indriyartheshu Vartante, we have seen that shloka. So these Indriyas, they are going after the Indriyarthas. Whatever basic requirement is required, basic requirement for the body is there. So that they will be, say, looking after. So Dagdhapata is another beautiful simile which is given for a Jnani. The Jnani's body and body-mind complex will be something like a Dagdhapata. It is called Dagdhapata Nyayam. You can note down also, it is called Dagdhapata Nyayam. So like that, there is no obstacle in his way. So that is the meaning. Next shloka, Kincha Anyat.
Kincha Anyat.
So he goes on to say, let us read the shloka. Atma upamyena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna sukham va yadi va dukkham sa yogi paramo matah. So here this shloka is like this. Atma upamyena sarvatra samam pashyati yaha Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, yaha, the person who, sarvatra, everywhere, samam pashyati, he sees everywhere the Brahman himself. Sama means two things. One is see the Sachidananda Brahma everywhere equally. Sama, it can mean equally. It also means the same, say, consciousness he sees everywhere. Then how does he see? Atma upamyena. Atma means self. We are not referring to Supreme Brahman. Atma is self. Atma upamyena. That is in comparison with him. Upama, you know the word upama? Upama means comparison. Upama, there is also an alankara called upama alankara. Upama alankara is something which is used in poetics. You know the word poetics? In poetics or alankara shastra, there is an alankara or a figure of speech called simile. In English it is simile. In Sanskrit we call it upama alankara. That is, my love is like a red rose. That is a standard example from a poet. So, we are not talking about a figure of speech. We are only talking about an ordinary comparison. Atma upamyena. That is, by comparing himself with others. If I were to be in his place, what would I do? That is putting oneself in the shoes of others. So that is what there is an idiom. Putting oneself in the shoes of others is putting oneself in somebody else's place and then looking from that man's point of view. So that is Atma upamyena sarvatra samam pashyati. He sees Brahman everywhere. He sees that equality. He with that sense of equality, he sees everybody in that manner. Then sukham va yadi va dukkham. What does he see? Whether it is sukham or dukkham, if it is somebody else's sukham, okay, if I am in that position, what would I do? Dukkham, suppose somebody else is having dukkham, just as dukkham is something which I dislike, the other man also does not like it. So he will not cause any dukkham to anybody. And then sukham, if somebody else is happy, he is also happy. And if somebody else is dukkhi, this man also feels dukkham. So that sort of state of mind a Jnani will have. Sukham va yadi va dukkham sa yogi paramo mataha. So that man will be called the highest stage of yogi. Parama means supreme, the highest order. Highest order of yogi is he who sees everything in a very compassionate way. In fact, in one way, this is also clarifying our doubt which we had in the earlier shloka. Sarvatha vartamanopi. That is, in whatever manner he is. Sarvatha vartamanopi means in whatever manner he is. So that's what it means. So we had a doubt. Sarvatha, in whatever manner means, can he say transgress law? Can he behave in an immoral way? So this again, here we are seeing this thing. In immediately next to that, we are seeing this shloka saying that Atma upamyena. That is, he is putting himself in the shoes of others, and then he is not doing anything which will displease anybody else. He is having compassion for every being. So that is what we are seeing here. Is the shloka clear?
Yes.
So, Atma upamyena, that word Shankaracharya is going to explain in great detail. So let us read the Bhashyam. Atma upamyena
Atmaupamyena.
Atma swayameva.
Atma swayameva.
Upamiyate ityupama.
Upamiyate ityupama.
Tasya upamayaha bhavaha aupamyam.
Tasya upamaya bhavaha aupamyam.
Tena atmaupamyena.
Tena atmaupamyena.
Okay, we'll stop here. Atmaupamyena. What is it? Atma swayameva. Atma means one's self. Atma swayameva. Upamiyate iti upama. Upamiyate means that which is compared is called upama. That is object of comparison. That is upamiyate iti upama. Tasya upamayaha bhavaha aupamyam. That is the fact or the comparing like that is called aupamyam. Aupamyam is a noun form for that upama. That is the fact of say comparing one thing with the other. That is called aupamyam. So here atmaupamyam. So he is comparing himself with others, putting himself in the shoe of others. That is atmaupamyam. Atmaupamyena is in Tritiya Vibhakti. Tena atmaupamyena. So with that sense, with that idea in mind, or with that attitude, or with that approach, then sarvatra, sarvabhuteshu, sarvatra, sarvabhuteshu, samam tulyam pashyati, yo Arjuna, sacha, kim samam pashyati ityuchyate, yatha mama sukham ishtam, tatha sarvapraninaam, sukham anukulam. Okay. Sarvatra, sarvabhuteshu. Sarvatra means in all beings. In all beings. Samam is equally. Tulyam is equally. Pashyati yaha Arjuna. Then what is it that he sees equally? Tatra kim samam pashyati. What is it that he sees equally? Iti uchyate. Yatha mama sukham ishtam. Yatha mama sukham ishtam means just as I like pleasure. I am sorry, sukham. Sukham is pleasure. Just as I like happiness, the other man also will like to be happy. Just as I would like to be happy, the other person also would like to be happy. Yatha mama sukham ishtam, tatha sarvapraninam sukham anukulam. That is likewise for everybody. Sukham itself, sukham is something which is anukulam. Anukulam is which is something which they like. Anukula is something which they like. Then va shabdaha charthe. Here there is one word called va sukham va yadi va dukkham. Va sukham va or else. That means va shabdaha charthe. It gives the meaning and. Sukham and dukkham. Instead of or, you can take it as and. So that is the meaning. Yadi va yaccha dukkham mama pratikulam anishtam yatha tatha sarvapraninam dukkham anishtam pratikulam ityevam atmaupamyena sukha dukkhe anukula pratikule tulyataya. Okay, we'll see the next thing. Yadiva or else, yadiva means or else, yaccha dukkham mama pratikulam anishtam. Yaccha dukkham mama pratikulam. Just as dukkham or something, some state of misery is something which is not liked by me. Anishtam means something which is not liked by me. Pratikulam, it is something which is not say in consonance with one's being. Anukula and pratikula, that is something which is opposed to you and something which is pleasant to you. Anukula and pratikula, it means the same thing. Opposite words, anukula and opposite pratikula. So dukkham is pratikulam and also anishtam to me, just as it is anishtam to me. Likewise, tatha means likewise, sarva praninam, for all other beings, for all living beings. We are not only talking about human beings, sarva praninam, for all living beings. So that is why, in fact, we don't believe in hurting animals also. We don't believe in hurting any type of animal. Only day before yesterday we had, what was the day before yesterday? Nagula Chaviti. Yesterday also was called Nagula Panchami. What does it mean? So in villages, they go to a snake mound and then they put some milk there in that the snake mound with the belief that a snake will come and then take that milk. You must have seen it. Nagula Chavati, people even today, even in urban areas, wherever there is a snake mound, all the women, they go there and then they put some flowers there and then they put some milk. Though snake is supposed to be such a deadly animal, we go and then give some milk to that. So that is the attitude of, that is the traditional attitude. So we have got our own way of worshipping every animal. So say one day cow is worshipped. Cow, of course, is worshipped almost every day. Then snake, for Nagula Chavati, the snake is worshipped. So likewise. So sarva praninam dukkham anishtam pratikulam ityevam. So just as dukkham is something which is not liked by me, similarly dukkham is not liked by anybody else. So that is something is called atma upamyam. That is comparing himself with others. Then sukha dukkhe anukula pratikule tulyataya. Tulyataya sarva bhuteshu samam pashyati na kasyachit pratikulam acharati ahimsaka ityarthaha. So ahimsakaha, what is it? Ahimsa, we know. Ahimsa is, that is say not say giving any type of unhappiness to anybody else, anybody or any being. Ahimsa. That is not merely non-violence. Yeah, in a way we can say non-violence. So ahimsa is not causing any type of pain to any being. That is ahimsa. Then ahimsaka is one who practices that. One who follows that is called ahimsaka. Ahimsaka is the person. Ahimsa is the attitude. So this person, sarva bhuteshu samam pashyati na kasyachit pratikulam acharati. He may do something anukulam, but he will never do pratikulam. He may do something which is in consonance with the other people's, say other people, but nothing which is adverse to them, nothing which will cause any adverse, say thing to the other person. Na kasyachit pratikulam acharati. Then ya evam ahimsakaha samyak darshana nishthaha sa yogi paramaha utkrushtaha mataha abhipretaha. So this person, he is one evam ahimsakaha. Sa evam, a person who is who is practicing that say vrata called non-violence. So he is also a person who is a samyak darshana nishthaha. So he is very well nishtha, means he is very well settled in that samyak darshana. He is very well settled in that proper understanding. So such man, because understanding again leads to your behavior, isn't it? Samyak darshana nishthaha. Samyak darshana is proper understanding. Understanding is proper knowledge. Knowledge actually determines your behavior, isn't it? Suppose you know certain thing is something which is valuable. So your behavior is according to that. We are sitting in this Gita class today because we know that Gita is something which has to be read. Gita is something which has to be told to other people. So that is why we are sitting here and then listening to Gita. So our behavior called listening to Gita or telling about Gita is something which is determined by our knowledge or understanding or vision that Gita is something which is supreme and Gita is something which has to be taught to everybody. So this is a simple example. Likewise, whatever we do is determined by our knowledge. You go to a film because you have a knowledge that film, there is something great in that film. Any other thing, you go to some place thinking that there is some value there. So your knowledge about that place makes you go to that place. So this person who is a samyak darshana nishtha, who sees Brahman everywhere, he does not do anything which is adverse to any other living being, any other being. So that is it. Not only living being, we don't even dig the ground, even without praying to that. You must have seen that ground breaking ceremony, what we call Shankusthapana. Shankusthapana is that what we in English what we call the ground breaking ceremony. So there again there is a mantra which says you request pardon. Mruttike haname papam. Then you worship Mruttika, you tell say Bhu Mata we call it, and then we pray, okay, for my purpose, for my immediate need, I am doing some harm to you, I am digging you please forgive me. So something like that, we pray to that Mruttika also, and then we go ahead with our activity there. So like that. Samyak darshana nishtah sayogi paramaha. Paramaha means utkrushtah. That is, he is supreme. Mataha abhipretaha. Abhipretaha means that he is deemed. Abhipretaha means he is deemed to be. Then Sarvayoginam Madhye. Sarvayoginam Madhye means among all other yogis. So this particular man who is an ahimsaka, he is supposed to be the greatest man. Then Yetasya Yathoktasya Samyak Darshana Lakshanasya Yogasya Dussampadyatam Alakshya Shushrushuhu Dhruvam Tat Praptyupayam Praptyupayam Prapti plus Upayam Praptyupayam Arjuna Uvacha. So this Arjuna is somebody like us. Arjuna, like us, he is also a man who must have practiced some meditation for some time, and he found his mind very unstable. Mind is not settling in some dhyana. So he is putting a question which we also put, because the mind is something which is running away everywhere, in all directions it is running away. So that is why Etasya Yathoktasya Samyak Darshana Lakshanasya Yogasya. So this yoga which is characterized by Samyak Darshana. Samyak Darshana Lakshanasya Yogasya means this is the whole thing is in Shashti Vibhakti. That is of the yoga whose characteristic is Samyak Darshana. Whose characteristic is Samyak Darshana means proper understanding of that. Dussampadhyatvam Alakshya. So Dussampadhyatvam, it is very difficult to attain that. It is very difficult to attain that yoga which is characterized by that Samyak Darshana. Because the mind is always fickle. It is not allowing you to settle down on a particular thought. Because meditation means you have to put your mind like the laser beam. Some similar thought process has to be there. That similar thought process is very difficult to attain. So that is what is the question of Arjuna. Dussampadhyatvam alakshya. Alakshya means having seen. He has seen. That is, he is also like us who has also practiced some little bit of meditation. Alakshya. Shushrushuhu dhruvam tat praptyupayam. Tat prapti upayam shushrushuhu. So he wants to listen to that some strategy in order to attain it. Upayam is a strategy. Praptyupayam is an upayam or a strategy to attain it. Shushrushuhu. Shushrushuhu means one who desires to listen. Shushrusha means desire to listen. Shushrushuhu is one who desires to listen. So Shushrushuhu dhruvam tat dhruvam means definitely. Definitely he wants to know. Surely, certainly, without any doubt he wants to know. So that is why Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna means, Arjuna itself is a plain man. Arjuna, the very meaning of Arjuna is very plain man, very pure, say plain-hearted man. So he is a common man, because we have seen that Arjunam nimitti krutya. Arjuna is a pretext here in this Gita, and then Lord Krishna is teaching this Gita for the whole world, keeping Arjuna as a pretext. So that is what we saw in the beginning of the Bhashya. Then Uvacha Yoyam iti. So let us read the shloka. Arjuna Uvacha Yoyam yogastvaya proktaha Samyena madhusudana Etasyaham na pashyami Chanchalatvat sthitim sthiram. So the shloka is like this. This yoga which has been told by you, O Madhusudana, O this slayer of this Madhu, you have told about that equanimity, you have told about having an equal vision about everybody, but I am not able to find, I am not able to see any sort of stability in say this process of meditation. I am not able to see any type of stability, sthitim sthiram, because the mind is so chanchala, it is so fickle. So that is the meaning of this. You see the words yoyam. Yoyam means yaha ayam. Ayam yogaha, yaha ayam yogaha tvaya proktaha. Ayam means this, ayam yogaha means this yoga, yaha tvaya proktaha, which has been told by you. Tvaya means by you, proktaha means has been told by you. Samyena Madhusudana. Hey Madhusudana is the address. Samyena means samatvena. That is something you have told about that equanimity, and then you have that equal vision for everybody. Samyena, that explaining that samyam, you have told that yoga, isn't it? So for that, etasya means of this yoga, etasya aham na pashyami, I am not able to see, I am not seeing what sthitim sthiram. What am I not seeing? Sthiram sthitim na pashyami. Sthiram sthiti. Sthiti means stability. Sthira means again something similar, something which is not say moving here and there. Sthira sthiti. That's a stable situation. Let us say a stable situation. Na pashyami. I am not able to see. Why? Because chanchalatvat. Chanchalatvat means mind. We have to assume here, presume. Manasaha chanchalatvat. The mind is so fickle, and because of the fickleness of this mind, the instability of the mind, I am not able to see any type of stability in the yoga which you have told just now. Yoga advocating equanimity, yoga advocating samatvam or samyam. So that is the meaning here. The words are like this: Yaha ayam yogaha tvaya proktaha samyena madhusudana etasya aham na pashyami chanchalatvat sthitim sthiram. The second line anvaya is etasya sthiram sthitim aham na pashyami. I am not able to see that stable situation. So that is it. Then etasya okay, yoyam yogaha tvaya proktaha samyena samatvena he madhusudana etasya yogasya aham na pashyami na upalabhe chanchalatvat manasaha kim sthiram achalam sthitim prasiddham etat. So Shankaracharya also is saying that this is prasiddham, that is well known. What is well known? That mind is so fickle, mind is always going out. So here, yaha ayam yogaha tvaya proktaha, which has been told by you, samyena samatvena, that is advocating that equanimity, he madhusudana, etasya yogasya, of this yoga, aham na pashyami. Shankaracharya also has not written much commentary on this. Na upalabhe. Na upalabhe means I am not finding. That is, sometimes some little bit of attention for a moment or so, you will get that attention. Then again immediately it goes. We have come across one word called Purana Vairagya. Purana Vairagya is, as long as you listen to satsang, suppose you go to a satsang, and as long as you sit in that satsang, your mind is okay, and then the moment they say you feel okay, all this thing is all, say we have to develop some vairagya, we have to do this meditation, all this is good. So in a satsang you feel all that. But the moment you come out of that satsang, again we are dragged by all these things. So the mind, that stability of mind, it goes. So stability of mind is no longer there the moment we come out of the satsang. So that is what Arjuna is very plainly saying, because Arjuna being a plain man, he says, Edasya yogasya aham na pashyami na upalabhe chanchalatvat manasaha. Because of the mind's fickle nature, I am not finding. What? Kim means what? What is it I am not finding? Sthiram achalam sthitim. Achalam sthitim. That say a condition of not getting disturbed. Achala. Chalam is, that is which is moving. Achalam is not moving. That stable situation I am not able to find. Shankaracharya says, prasiddham etat. This is very well known. Then let us see the next shloka. Chanchalam iti. Chanchalam hi manah Krishna. Pramathi balavadrudham. Pramathi tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. So he is again saying, Hey Krishna, chanchalam hi manaha. He means yasmat, because manaha chanchalam. Hey Krishna, manaha chanchalam. Chanchalam is chalam, chanchalam. That is moving and moving only. So it is always like that. Why? It is dragged by indriyas. We know that mind is always dragged by indriyas, and we have seen in this Kathopanishad also, indriyas are like all these, horses. All these horses, they drag this mind. So that is how it gets dragged. So chanchalam hi manaha Krishna. Hey Krishna, manaha chanchalam. Pramathi is from a root called mantha. Manthanam. You know this, what is Manthanam? Manthanam is churning. Samudra Manthanam, you know, that story in that Puranas, where that milk ocean is there and that milk ocean is churned, and then in that, when you churn that milk ocean, first say the poison comes, and then Lakshmi comes, and then later at the end, say this nectar comes, Amrita, that nectar comes. So gods on one side and demons on one side, they stand and then they churn the whole, mind, not mind, that ocean. So this ocean symbolizes our own human mind. This milk ocean is nothing but our own human mind, where the devas are the good faculties in the mind, the demons are the bad faculties in the mind. That we have to always remember. Devas and demons are not people who are there up above the sky with some nice sophisticated weapons and then fighting, because the Bhashyam is very, very clear about it. Devaha Shastrodbhasita Indriya Vrittayaha Asuraha Tad Viparitaha. That's Chandogya Upanishad Bhashyam and also Upanishad, what is this, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad Bhashyam, two places. In fact, Chandogya and also in Brihadaranyaka, Shankaracharya repeatedly says, Devas means this Shastrodbhasita Indriya Vrittayaha, our own Indriya Vrittis, our own thought processes and our own behavioral patterns, which have been purified by the Shastra Udbhasita, that they have been purified or illuminated by the Shastra. So those things are Devas. Tad viparitaha, quite opposite to them, are the asuras. Asuraha asushu ramante iti asuraha. So devasura sangramo nama nirantaram vartamanaha adhyatmika sangramaha. These lines we should not forget. That is, the devasura sangrama, the battle between gods and demons, means something which is a clash which is going on in a human mind always. Anudinam vartamanaha adhyatmika sangramaha. Adhyatmika means in one's own self, in one's own mind, this battle takes place. So that is what we have to see here. Say yoga prokta, pramati. We are in this word pramati. Samudra manthanam. Yeah, I was telling about that samudra manthanam. Samudra manthanam means this churning of the mind. You also know the word manmatha. What is the meaning of manmatha? Manmatha is that Cupid. Manmatha, English version is Cupid. So manmatha, one who totally churns your mind. Manaha mathanati. Iti manmatha, that is one who totally churns your mind, shakes you inside out. If you fall in love, manmatha will shake you inside out. So that is the meaning. Manmatha, he churns your mind if you fall in love. So manmatha, pramati, that pramati means prakarshena mathanati. It is something which totally churns your mind. This mind is something which shakes you. And then balavat, balavat is very strong. Drudham again is very firm. Then very firm. Tasya nigraham aham, tasya aham nigraham manye. Aham, tasya nigraham, vayoho iva sudushkaram iti manye. That is, I find that nigraham, that is containing that mind, is as difficult as, say, capturing vayu. Suppose I want to capture vayu. Vayu means air. I want to capture air. How can I capture air? I cannot capture air. So like that, mind is something which is very difficult to capture. Another way we can take this word vayu. Vayu is quite fast. Mind is much faster than vayu. We know this vayu vega, mano vega. We listen to two words called vayu vega and mano vega. Vayu is something, this wind is something which goes fast. So many kilometers of speed. Whenever there is some cyclone, we listen to the cyclone bulletins saying that winds so many miles of speed they are coming and whatnot. So like that, wind has got a speed, whereas mind has no speed limit. This moment I am in the moon, or I am on sun, or my mind is on something else. So this mind is something which is much faster than the vayu. So that is why it is just impossible to hold it. Either it is impossible like capturing vayu, or it is so fast that it cannot be restrained. So vayoho iva sudushkaram. It is very, very difficult. Sudushkaram means very difficult. Dushkaram, dukkena kartum yogyam is dushkaram. So that is tasya nigraham aham manye. Aham manye means I deem it, I think so, I deem it, I hold so. That is what it means. Let us read the Bhashyam. Chanchalam hi Manaha Krishna Krishna iti Krushatehe
कृषतेः
विलेखनार्थस्य रूपं
विलेखनार्थस्य रूपं
भक्तजन पापादि दोषाकर्षणात् कृष्णः
भक्तजन पापादि
दोष आकर्षणात् कृष्णः. So he is giving a small etymological meaning of the word Krishna. What is the word Krishna? Karshati. The word karsha dhatu is there. That is pulling. If you have seen a plow, if you have seen a plow which is used by the farmers, he puts that plow on the ground and then there are bullocks going or maybe some machine going, and then he puts that plow into the ground and then that machine pulls. So that is karshana. That is why it is called krushi. Krushi, we call it agriculture. Krushi, we refer to agriculture. That is because that karshanam is done. So here again in the word Krishna also there is a word called karshanam. Karshati. That is, where is it? Yeah, Krishna iti krushatehe vilekhanarthasya. Krushatehe means krushati becomes of the root karsha dhatu of the word krushati. Lekhanarthasya. That is the meaning of that word is to pull. Lekhanam. Lekhanam means to draw. Lekhanam actually means to draw or to pull or to drag. That is lekhanam. Lekhanam we also means writing, but here the meaning is lekhanam is to draw. That is pulling. That is the meaning. Lekhanarthasya rupam. This Krishna is derived from that root called karshati. Then bhakta, what does it pull? Bhaktajana papadi dosha akarshanat Krishna. The word akarshana also is from the same root. Krushi, karshanam, akarshana, krushivala. Krushivala we refer to a farmer. Krushivala means a farmer. So karshati, dosha akarshanat, bhaktajana papadi dosha akarshanat. So if you are a devotee of Krishna, he will help you in getting rid of your papas. Not that he will transfer your papas to his account. So because Gita, while explaining this, we have to be careful. Bhakta jana papadi karshanat means he does not take away your sins. Because we have seen earlier, nadatte kasyachit papam nachaiva sukrutam vibhuhu. So nadatte kasyachit papam. The moment you go to Lord Krishna or Lord Venkateswara or some other Lord, our Vedanta says he is not going to take away your sins. He will only help you to realize, he will only give you buddhi. Tasyaham, what is this? Dadami buddhi yogam tam. I am going to give him buddhi. That is what he says. In our philosophy, maybe other religions, of course, they say that if you go to this God, he will take away your sins and whatnot. Whereas Vedanta does not say that. You have to be responsible for your own sins and you have to be a responsible human being, and in a responsible manner you have to get rid of it. You have to get rid of it by doing some good deeds, by knowing, by say understanding yourself. So with that you have to get rid of all those things and then you have to purify yourself. So that is what it says. In this life only. In this life only you have to purify yourself. So that is it. So Bhaktajana papadi dosha akarshanat Krishna. So Krishna is somebody who is helping you in dragging away all those, in taking away all those say dosha, all those faults called papam. Papam is any act of demerit is papam. So those things are being taken away and he helps you to take away, he helps you to get rid of all those things. So that is the meaning of Krishna. Na kevalam atyartham chanchalam. Is the time over? Is the time over? Okay, 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. Na kevalam atyartham chanchalam. Pramathicha. Pramathana shilam. Pramathanati shariram indriyani cha vikshipati. Paravashi karoti. Okay. So na kevalam atyartham chanchalam. Na kevalam means not only is it chanchalam, not only is it fickle, pramathicha, pramathi. So he is again explaining pramathana shilam, pramathanati shariram indriyanicha. So this body and all these indriyas are shaken. Body and indriyas are shaken the moment you fall in love. So that is what Manmatha also does. So this also, mind is something which is pramathanati. Mind is actually shakes you up, it shakes you inside out. Shariram and indriyanicha vikshipati. Vikshipati means he just throws everywhere. Kshepa, the word dhatu, kshepa dhatu means throwing. Kshepani, you know the word kshipani. Kshipani means a missile. So kshipani word is missile. So you remember the roots so that you can know the related words. Vikshepa is something, V means you in any manner, in all directions, you throw it. So the mind is thrown out, is tossed about in all directions. So that is what is called vikshepa. Chitta vikshepa is mind is tossed about. So vikshipati paravashi karoti. So you are not in your control, you are in paravasha. Paravasham means what? Paravasham, normally we use the word to means, oh, paravasham. Means you say somebody who is in a state of ecstasy or something like that. Yeah, paravasham actually literally means not swavasha, he is in paravasha. He is in the control of something else, he is not under his control. His mind is not in his control, his mind is in the control of something else. So that is what is paravashi karoti. I think we will stop it here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti